Okay, yeah, set, sounds of fade. And action.
We're back! I need to get my role situated in this bodysuit. I feel like I have imposter syndrome.
Same.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Hello, you guys. Long time no see.
Oh my goodness.
It has been so long.
Too long, but like we're not gonna go anywhere, okay? We're back.
You guys, Bailey and I were just saying we seriously have butterflies being here.
Oh, my mic is close.
And a new set. Hello.
I know, I kind of feel like I'm trying to figure out how to sit on this couch. You know, Molly and Lunette? I
Yes.
feel like I'm on the big comfy couch.
Oh, we are. You guys, we're so happy to be back. So much has happened. There's so much to update you guys on.
Yeah, and that's really what this episode is going to be. A big, fat ketchup and mustard episode.
Hello, where have you guys been?
Yeah, we're catching up. We're just chatting.
Because all you guys know is we've been moving. And did they die?
Yeah. We'll keep you updated. Hey, you know, in life, when did you say on one episode once? I remember when you're like, when life's been lifing ya.
Yeah.
It's been good life, though.
No, it has been good life. But we'll get into it for sure. I'm so excited, Bailey.
Wait, this might be weird for you guys, but I don't know if you've ever seen the right side of my face and the left side of Abby's face.
Hello. This is new.
I know.
Next week I might be over there. We'll see.
You know when like you sleep on your neck wrong? I feel like I don't know how to turn my neck this way to look at you. It just feels broken. Anyway, that's a me problem.
But I do feel comfier in this set.
Oh my.
I mean, I loved our old set for sure. It was a time. It was a season. But
Humble
this
beginnings.
does feel cozier and
Well,
you guys more our vibe.
You guys didn't know what it looked like behind the camera at our last set, but we were in such a small little living room that we need to find that old footage if we still have it of like when we first sat down to record and we had these like glass tables. It was just so small, like bull in a china shop. We would sneeze and the lights would fall down. Our lights were held up
Serious.
by duct tape. Like, I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah. You guys, we're starting from the bottom and we're going to work our way up for sure.
Yeah.
But it was just so confined and you wanted to be so careful. Like you took one wrong step and the entire set just fell.
Yeah. So we got some new equipment. We are crisp and back and I'm so happy.
And better than ever. Side note, we also are missing some headphones.
Yeah. We are
Threw them out.
we're recording without them for the first time and I'm sorry. I'm asking for forgiveness if I've made your ears bleed in the past. I get really loud when I get excited and I think the headphones made it worse.
A little bit. But we'll see. I'm really excited to see what this sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both of us were a bit louder with headphones on. And I don't know. I was like, we're doing a podcast. We need headphones. We popped the headphones on. And Bailey and I were just, watching reels on Instagram's other podcasts. And we're like, nobody has headphones on.
Yeah.
Not that we have to do what other people do, but it was an inconvenience. Like I would want to do something with my hair a certain way.
I
or like,
can't wear a beanie.
yeah, I can't wear a beanie. So I'm really excited.
And I just got to say this because my dad's the one that pointed it out. Let's just call it what it is. And he's like, dude, just have a real conversation and the headphones get in the way. I'm like, you're old. You don't know.
You don't get it.
I'm like, our generation, I don't see headphones when people record at all.
Mm-mm.
And I don't think people do. But with having
Us
guests,
and Joe Rogan.
yeah, Joe Rogan is the only one. I'm like, okay, he's like closer to my dad's age than anything.
I know.
Love him. Love his podcast. But
Yeah, same.
anyway, So we're trying it, and I think having guests on the future too, it's just, like, equipment-y.
Yeah. It's one less thing that we have to worry about. So, we're gonna give it
Anyway.
a whirl, and I'm excited to do my hair now.
Yeah, literally.
Let's slick it back behind my ears every time as I'm like,
I know. Yeah. Okay, so,
"Bailey,
Abigail.
let's talk about our moving. Where did we move?"
Okay, so yeah, gosh, I'm trying to think, like, really where we left off. I guess I was sharing about Jordan and I not living together, so I think I did share on there that he would be moving to his own place, and then I would be moving in with my sister and her family. So that's where I'm at, and we're about, like, 20 minutes apart, so it's an easy drive. It's close his place is close to my work, so it's easy to go over there before or after work. We've been, like, getting together and doing coffee in the morning, reading our Bibles, whatever. Um, and it's been so fun living with my sister and her family.
Aw.
It makes me, like, so excited to have my own family, like, to
Mhm.
just get this, like, intimate look. Like, the other day, both girls and Mikey and Kyle were all in their bed, and they were just screaming from the top of their lungs, singing a song together, and it was just, like, a Saturday morning, and I'm like, "They're just
Oh,
cute," and it's just
special time
yes,
for
and it's
sure.
fun to be a fly on the wall, and I have a little Betty that sneaks into my bedroom every night. Literally, well, my niece Bilson is up at her grandparents' staying there for the weekend or whatever, but since I moved in, every single night she gets in my bed, and the rule
Oh.
is just, like, start out in your own room and, like, because I think she is in that age going through that phase where it's like you wanna wake up and go to your parents' room if you have,
Yeah.
like, a bad dream or something,
Yeah.
and so the rule always for them was, like, start out in your own bed, but you're always welcome to come into our bed. Um, and yeah, ever since I moved in, she picks me over them, which is so cute, and she'll just come in, and it's funny because the pillow that she sleeps with at night, my when my sister lived in Texas, my parents mailed them big fat heads of their heads. So it's literally like my mom's face on a pillow that she
Oh.
comes in, and then there's a fat head of my dad too.
And those are the pillows that she uses? Like,
Min pillow only. Yeah.
oh,
And so she'll come in with my mom's face, and she'll just sneak in, and sometimes she'll go, "Hi, baby." And then she'll just
oh,
fall back asleep. It's so
that's so
cute.
cute.
Yeah. What about
So,
you? Where'd you go?
where did I go? So, I also moved to Tacoma. I moved in with my best friend Mariana. Shout out. She's so sweet. She opened her house up to me. It's a pretty big house. She was living with her or her family was living with her when I first moved in. And there was like a timeline. Her family was going to be moving out, and then some series of events happened to where there was no longer a timeline that they were moving out. When I moved in, it was just like a lot of chaos as it is when there's a lot of moving parts. Like her mom and sister were like moving things around because they're planning on moving out. I'm moving in with a ton of boxes. So there just really wasn't a lot of space for me to get settled in. I eventually got settled into my room, but I just realized pretty quick, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
And not because of Mariana or her family at all. I just, the stress of living out of boxes.
Oh, yeah.
There just wasn't enough room for me to really unpack with all the different moving parts going on. So I'm gonna be moving.
Again.
Again, the moving game is not over. I'm currently looking for a place right now up north here in Washington. So continue praying for me, please, that the Lord opens up the perfect place for me. I've just lightly started, or not lightly, I have been like going on tours and things up north, just knocking on some doors, and I've yet to find the perfect spot, but the Lord knows what that perfect spot is. So yeah,
Mhm.
I
It's stressful, though,
it's super stressful,
because
dude.
there is a time that you gotta be out.
Not necessarily. Long
Okay.
story short, Mariana, she's selling her house.
Mhm.
So
Switch it, change it,
yeah,
rearrange it.
everything. So Mariana's moving, her family's moving out. I'm moving out. Her realtor is coming this actual Monday to like take pictures and put it on the market.
Mhm.
So, I would imagine by the end of August at the very
Okay.
latest,
Yeah.
that I would be out. But for me and just like my mental, like I gotta feel settled somewhere. I wanna feel
Oh, yeah.
to
Unpack.
unpack together. And my dog Rufus, I know it's been a lot for him too. I actually am having my mom's watching him during all of this right now because he was under a lot of stress, I could tell. Yeah, I'm just praying into place right now.
Yeah. Okay, so
And I'm also sorry, I'm
mm-mm.
also really far from my work right now. The traffic is really bad on the way home.
Mhm.
I'm really far from everything right now. Um, my boyfriend,
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are we moving up north? Hello?
well, it's not because of him.
Well, it's a
It's a
factor.
factor for sure.
Hello?
But he lives up north, and regardless of where I'm gonna be living, I'm gonna be making that drive to him as he does to me,
She
but
said boyfriend.
yes, that also happened.
Yeah, hello? There's a lot.
That's why I said boyfriend.
You did, like, a little soft mention here or there.
I think, yeah, on the last episode, I was like, "I'm gonna pick up my friend," because he was just my friend.
Yeah. You said
But
his name once, I think.
did I?
Yeah. You said Connor, da 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 da.
Oh. But yeah, it's official. I am officially off the market.
She's out of there.
I am out of there. I am so glad to be out of there. But Connor asked me to be his girlfriend, and I am just so happy. I can't
Okay,
even put it into
we
words.
need to stay here for a sec.
Okay.
You get nervous, I
I do.
feel.
I mean, my relationship with him is just it's just so special to me,
Mhm.
and I just don't want to say too much or share too much, because I don't know, I just, like, wanna protect it in a way, um, but it is really exciting, so, I
You've
will
been in the
share.
bubble, and it's okay to enjoy the bubble.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only things have moved pretty quickly between
Mhm.
Connor and I. We just really, really hit it off, and for the first time in my life, I've never experienced so much peace when it comes to a relationship with a guy. Like,
Mhm.
there's so much peace that surrounds our entire relationship. Ever since I met him, everything has just been so organic. We met in March, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend. What's June? I think May 29th. Yeah, May 29th. Um, we really like each other. Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, he is my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have so much fun together. Yeah, we're like 2 ping pong balls. We just don't know.
That's the best when it's just, like,
Yeah,
you just enjoy the company and you have fun and
it's amazing, and it goes so much deeper than that. Like,
yeah.
I really feel like the calling that we both have over our lives align so much.
Yeah.
I was talking to my dad about it, and he was just like, "Oh, the honeymoon stage, like, feelings come and go." Like, it's so easy to get caught up in the feelings and think,
Mhm.
like, "This is the guy for you because you have all these feelings for him, and he
Yeah.
makes you feel good, and you make him feel good. It just feels so good." But it's in the facts where you really start to see the Lord, like, does Connor's, calling line align with mine, or does mine complement his calling?
Mhm.
Would it be easy for our lives to combine, for our communities to combine? Would my family enjoy this guy? Would his family enjoy me? So it's in the facts where I feel like the Lord really shows up, and where you can really analyze, like, is this the person, like, that the Lord has for me?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is so cool.
It's so exciting to hear, and we were on the phone the other day, you and I were talking about recording and, like, being excited about it and just, like, getting back into it. And even just before we recorded just today, I was like, "I just wanna have, like, a real conversation." And that's kind of our that's what we wanna stay true to
Yeah.
always, and, like, it's fun to, like, be on the same page about what we're talking about. But on the phone the other day, we were talking about, like, we've shared things you've shared your testimony from your past,
Mhm.
and then most recently, I shared, like, this decision, and it's all been, like we have, collected our like, those episodes, it's like we knew what we were gonna talk about, we
Yeah.
knew how the conversation was gonna
Mhm.
go, and I think it's really easy to share when you know the story,
Yeah.
and I was telling you, like, I just feel such this, like, sense from the Lord that's like, I keep telling my clients, like, I just hear from him, like, "Open your yap and I'll do the rest.
Yeah.
Open your yap and I'll do the rest." And so
Yeah.
sharing mine and Jordan's decision to not live together anymore, and then now that we've been doing this for I think we're going on the 3rd week, and then you in this new relationship, I'll be honest, it's easier to share when it's like, "We've made this decision, this is what we're gonna do, wrap it in a bow." I'm including you guys, but it's a little nerve-wracking to, like, let people in real time,
Mhm.
and I hear what you're saying about, like, it's been, like, a special bubble and you wrestle with, like, what do you share, but what do you not
Right.
share? And, like, I think that there's an element of, like, protecting someone else, and it's
Yeah.
like, he's not sitting here on the mic and,
Yeah.
like, opening up your relationship, like, it's a line to toe that you gotta figure out, like, what are we comfortable sharing with, what
Totally. Yeah.
And even, like, in this season with Jordan and I also feel like the Lord's telling me, like, "Don't wait until it's pretty." Like,
Yeah.
I want this maybe for selfish reasons, but, like, when you look back at an old journal entry, which I'll be honest, I don't, look back and read things very often,
Yeah.
but if you do, you're like, "Gosh, I just wanna hug her." And, like, if she only knew.
Mm.
And for selfish reasons, like, I want this to be like a journal where it's like, I wanna talk about, like, the things that have been really hard about this season because I think if we were to wrap this in a bow, let's say we don't jump back on the mic and Jordan and I are married, we get engaged and we're like, "Oh yeah, let's talk about that time when we didn't live together." It'd be like, "Oh, it was hard, but we did it." And it's like,
Totally.
I wanna talk about it now. And like
Yeah.
you dating, like we are on the phone the other
Mhm.
day, I'm like, "You're dating so different now
Yeah.
than you have before." And
Right.
like, you don't have to wait until it's like, "Okay, this is my person, so I do wanna share and open up about it." It's like,
Mm.
let's
Yeah, I think I was kinda letting fear creep in a little bit because
Yeah,
I was just telling Bailey, "Dude, I don't know if I'm, like, ready to hop back on the mic yet." Well, 1, I'm just under, like, a lot of stress, there's a lot
yeah,
of moving parts, and she was so understanding of that. But I was just sharing, like, I I understand the responsibility of the mic, and I would hate to hop on there, be talking about my current season, um, and and to say something and to for somebody to take it the wrong way is a way that I wasn't meaning and to do more damage. Um, but Bailey just reminded me, but that's she means well is about being raw and authentic and not being perfect and pretty and just talking about what's going on in the now. I mean, of course, we've had so many episodes talking about like past things, and that's great. And there's so much beauty and healing that comes with that too. And we still want to share other people's stories from their past too. That is huge.
yeah. That's how
Um,
you learn.
that's how you
Yeah.
learn for sure. But talking about the now is just as important, and it's what she means well means, and it's what we're about.
Yeah, because we really wanna, like I'm not kidding when I'm telling you that this podcast is the accountability in my life that's, like, made me wake up to things that I was asleep to, and this is, like, the constant where it's like, I don't wanna be spinning plates, like, this is how I am at work, this is how I am at church, this is how I am with my friends, this is how I am with my boyfriend, like, I wanna be walking in the one identity that God made me to be,
Mhm.
and I was seriously spinning plates and, like,
Mhm.
it's like you're curating this, like, "Well, this is how I am on social media," all of these different things, and it's
Yeah.
like, I don't wanna do that, it's so exhausting.
Yeah. You're totally right when it comes to this being an accountability. I mean, there's different areas in my life where I'm like, okay, well, if I'm gonna stay true to the she means well and get up on that mic and be real and raw, like I need to be living authentically
Mhm.
and not have all these different plates spinning, as you said. So, do you feel like there was a moment where you had that realization?
Oh, I know the moment, drop the pin.
Oh no.
Okay, I need to share a story,
Oh.
and I'm just gonna share it from how it happened, my POV, okay? So, I'm at work one day, and I get this text, and it's from a random number, and I'll just read it.
Okay, yeah.
Because I pulled it up to refresh my brain. I knew I wanted to talk about
Okay.
this.
So you're at work, you get this text.
Okay, get this text from a random number. Says, Hey girl, I just want to reach out and say how amazing your podcast is. I recently listened to your episode, Alone But Not Lonely, where you and Abigail talk about how to walk out a life that is glorifying to God while you're single. It's inspiring to me, and I've started dating again. And it's going well. I've hooked up with so many guys since having this rush of confidence after listening to that episode, and I really feel like this is where God wants me. I'm putting myself out there. I'm giving everything in me to these men, and I truly hope my life is a blessing to all these guys. I hope that doesn't come across as slutty because, I mean, of course, I am using protection, and I tell these guys that if they want my cookie, they have to tell me how much they love Jesus first. Thank you so much for She Means Well being so real and raw. I've never had so much confidence in my dating relationship and with Jesus. Can't wait for next episode, girlies. P.S. Please share this with Abigail. I found your phone number on Google, couldn't find hers for some weird reason. XOXO. And I about pooped my pants, heart to my butt. I was like, what? Okay, so I then am like sweaty palms. Like at first I'm starting to read this and I'm like, wow, this is so encouraging. This is so nice. And pretty quickly I'm like, that's not my mission.
Like they heard somebody else's podcast because that is not what we're doing.
And my heart just sank because now that you guys are all caught up to speed on like how the undoing of Jordan and I living together came to be, I had this like,
And this was before, too. Not to mention, this was months before we even made the decision that we were moving out.
oh yeah, but my sister had texted me and been like, do you guys feel like you're practicing what you're preaching? And
Yeah.
I genuinely was just like, no, but please be praying for me because like I want to be consistent and I don't know what to do. So that was that. And then I was like, I screenshot it, but I was like, no, I can't even send this to Abby because I need to, I don't know what to do. So then we were on the phone on my way home from work and you were like headed out to go hang out with friends. And I'm like, well, I can't wait to talk to you about this. So I was like, dude, I have to share something with you. And I feel sick. I feel so sick because I feel like someone's listening to our episodes and like, they're like taking this narrative that's like, I don't want to, if we are talking and someone's able to read it and say like, I'm praying about it before I go give my cookie to all these people.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
Okay, that's not my mission and that's not what the Lord's calling us to do here. And so I just was like, Abigail, I feel sick. I don't know what to do. And you went on to say like, well, Bailey, what are you going to say? And I'm like, what do we say? I don't even know. I don't even know if I can respond because I don't feel like it. I don't want to now be like, oh, actually, you misunderstood everything we've ever said. You're wrong. Like, how do I lovingly be like, whoa, you're actually getting the message wrong, but like, can I bow out? Like, I literally don't know what to say because, hello?
Because that's not what we're trying to say, lady.
Yeah.
So that opened up a conversation between Bailey and I. We're trying to figure out like what we should respond to this girl and her cookie. And and it opened up a good conversation of like, oh dude, like we need to dial in like what we're saying on the mic.
Well, and how we're living. That's
and how
the
we're
thing.
living. And how
Because
we're
I'm
living. That
talking
was the
about
bigger thing.
living with my boyfriend, and I'm like,
Yeah.
geez, I can't come at her and be like, well, wait. When it's like, I mean, I'm not doing anything better.
Right.
And so,
Yeah.
Abby's like, well, what are you going to say? And I'm like, dude, I just feel sick. I don't know. I don't know. I feel sick. And then you got quiet and you were like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, what? And you were like, that was me. I was working on setting up an anonymous
It was me.
phone number that people could text for listener submissions. And I just wanted to see if it worked. So I text you. I'm like, literally, you are such a freaking brat. You're such a brat. That was so mean. But
And I felt so mean. And I'm a prankster. Like,
did you think I would read it and be like, abs?
yeah, because, okay, well, yes and no. I know, like, you were pretty gullible, as am I. I'm gullible too. But I thought you would know it was me because you knew that I was working on setting up that phone number for the podcast. So I figured that you'd be like, okay, dude, come on.
I was just.
And I felt so bad, you guys. Have you guys ever pulled a prank on someone and it just turned terrible
Oh, I just
because
took it
I
so
felt
serious.
she took it so serious. She took it to heart. She was praying in tongues about it. She was sweating, pooping at work, and I felt like the biggest jerk. But
But it seriously was
it
like,
was
bing, bing, bing,
huge.
bing, bing. It's not that crazy of a text to
What do I
maybe
say?
get.
I'm just doing miracles out here. What can I say?
Dude, literally, I was like, okay. And I don't think I talked to you about how much that really like hit home for me
You
because
didn't until like a month ago.
until we had like decided to move out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that was always in the back of my mind of like, gotta get the box color out, gotta
Yeah.
do
I was still
whatever.
feeling guilty, and Bailey's like, "No,
Yeah.
Abby, like I needed that."
No, literally. I think it literally honed in on like what our mission is here. So all of that to say, yeah, that's what made me feel like this is serious accountability. And that's why I want to share about like our
The
lives
now.
in real time.
In the now.
Because even like dating, I get how it could be hard where you're like, okay, what if this relationship doesn't end up being my person?
Yeah.
And then I've said whatever, but I reminded you the other day, I'm like, but you're dating different. Like
Yeah.
there's girls dating out there that are praying about before they give their cookie to millions of people. Not millions, but and it's just like, well, there's an order of operations because God wants to protect us and he wants
Yeah.
to like cover us and he wants to bless us. He
Right.
doesn't want us to go through all this heartbreak that we don't have to go through. And if you can date with intention, which we've talked about before.
And that's the way that I'm dating now.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is so completely different from how I used to date in so many different ways. And I do want to open up about that. I want to open up about how I'm dating differently now. Not necessarily this episode, but there is so much beauty in that. And I have learned so much. So if I can just share my advice and what I've walked through when it comes to dating,
Yeah.
and sex, then like I need to be talking about that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect and pretty. I don't have to have a ring on my finger, getting married, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it in the now,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I think it's kind of I don't know if this is the right time to say it, but a juxtaposition. I feel like I always have to say that really fast. A juxtaposition.
It sounded good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But we're both the youngest, and I don't feel very like
In our families.
in our families, and I don't feel very big sisterly in our family dynamics,
Mhm.
And I mean, I guess maybe in our relationship, but like
Mhm.
not really. We're like it's not.
I feel like we're one and the same.
Yeah, and so anyway, it doesn't feel like supernatural to me to open up and be like, learn from me, trust me, learn from me, because I feel like I've been on the receiving end of that my whole life, looking up to our sisters
Mhm.
and learning from them. And
Yeah.
we've talked about how we've been different, how we either feel like we need to learn from people or experience it,
Yes.
and like maybe a little bit of both at times. Um, but like I think that this is a place that like, I mean, you could be older than us and still, it's just we just want to give sisterly advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really well put. You guys, this episode, it might sound a little vague, and we will get into all of the things that we're talking about in a deeper level in the future. But we just miss you guys, and we
Mhm.
just feel like we want to blurt out everything that we've been walking through in a vague sense, I guess. We only have so much time. But there's just so many moving parts right now in both of our lives. More than just the moving itself and finding a home.
I know.
I just feel like this right now is a season of just being flexible, and being open to what it is that the Lord has in store for both of us. And we are in very different seasons right now, but we both have a lot of moving parts going on.
Yeah, for different reasons, but it almost feels parallel too,
Yeah,
in a way.
totally.
Do you feel stressed?
Yeah, I do feel stressed.
Yeah.
I was just texting my sister the other day, and I feel stressed, but at the end of the day, I feel like I can still take a deep breath. Like,
Uh-huh.
I know that there is a place that the Lord has for me. He's had it planned for me. I just feel stressed when it comes to like the day-to-day things.
Yeah.
Of living out of boxes, of my dog, of the area where I'm living isn't the safest area, so like my safety. Um Financially feeling a bit strapped right now. I'm spending so much on gas. and moving up north is more expensive. So, yes, I do feel stressed, but not overwhelmed because I know that it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
I feel like my story for the past 6 years has it just has really taught me how to be flexible and how to roll with the punches. Um, yeah.
I feel like I was feeling exactly what you're feeling in terms of like there's maybe not a strict deadline, but there's a moment coming where it's like some I gotta move
Yeah.
and I don't know where I'm moving. I mean, that has been what we just literally wrapped up
Yeah.
walking through. And I remember even when I left my last salon to this salon, I was like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna go to you in prayer over this and I'm just gonna get super specific. And so there were
Yeah.
certain things like about my last salon versus this one. And so I'm like, okay, you to a T, like just two little things. When I walked into my new salon, I'm like, things on my prayer list were like windows, plants, white walls, airy, bright. And I walked in and I'm like, it's as if the owners of this salon were like reading my mail and my
Yeah.
prayers, and it
Yeah.
was so to a T. So I think there's so much power in that. And I just want to share like when Jordan and I were looking for like, oh, where's he gonna move and what does that look like? And I really wanted to find a house. Like I'm like, I'm done living in an apartment. Like, cause this is where I'm gonna be moving. We're like, I'm gonna be moving to my sister's and then moving over to where Jordan is. So let's like make it as minimal moves as we can.
Yeah.
Cause it was an option for him to rent a room too, but we're downsizing going from like a big place. So
Yeah.
anyway, so we're like to find somewhere that has like enough room that we can like both comfortably live there eventually. And I'm like, this is such a small thing, but like, Lord, I really want to be able to have like an herb garden. I want to be able to go outside and cut some herbs and like not in my little garden thing that I had before. Like, I
Mhm.
want it coming from the ground, is what
Yeah.
I said. And when we were moving all of Jordan's stuff in, which it's kinda like my dollhouse, honestly, because all my decor for the most part, other than, like, my bedroom and getting ready stuff is at my sister's and clothes. Um, so all of our stuff is over there, and we're moving in, and I was like, "Jordan, look, there's 1, 2, 3 massive rosemary bushes." I'm like, "That's crazy." And then well, and also to backtrack a bit, there was this other place that we had, like, looked at, loved. It was this like, little house, tiny house, but I just thought it was so cute, lots of light, potential for a yard, garden, whatever, and the landlords were like, "We're just trying to be really, like, fair and, like, whoever applies first, like, we're gonna run their application and we won't charge you," which whatever, that was nice. So we toured it, applied, and the girl who toured right before us got it. And I was like, "Dang it, that I felt like was like that was it. Like, what the heck? It checked all the boxes and
Yeah.
okay, but like, God, there's gotta be something. There's gotta be a reason." And so then we keep looking, and then that night, Jordan was like, "Let's just expand our search a little bit, and what if we, like, we're willing to compromise in these ways and whatever about, like, our list." And so we looked at it, and this place popped up that night that I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna message this lady about going to go look." And this place is, like, hundreds of dollars cheaper. It's just the layout is it's actually bigger than what that house was by, like,
Mm.
200 square
Oh,
feet,
wow.
and clawfoot bathtub, like, it just is, like, no
An herb
that
garden
and
from the ground.
literally from the ground, and then which at that point, it was just rosemary, and then I was, like, talking to the property manager as we're, like, unpacking things, and I'm like, "Oh, I saw that there's rosemary, like, I love to make sourdough bread, like, is it an option to go snip some?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, of 100%." And she goes, "Did I show you the herb garden? Because this place is more like an apartment, and so but it has, like, its own front and back entry, we have our own parking that we
Yeah.
don't have to pay
It
extra
doesn't feel
for."
like an
Apartment
apartment at
at
all.
all. And it just checks all the boxes and then some, and through this entire journey of, like, Jordan and I deciding to not live together and just, like, trusting in the Lord, like, talking to my mom, something that she has told me in almost every conversation is like, "Bailey, the Lord wants to give you not only what you need, but exceedingly abundantly more." And I
Yeah.
just
More
kept
than you can
hearing that,
imagine.
exceedingly abundantly more. And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Dang it, I thought that other house was exceedingly abundantly more." And it
Mhm.
wasn't because this place is bigger, better, cheaper, has the herb garden, like,
Right.
it just and so I totally know what you're talking about where it's like, yes, I'm stressed, but also it's like you feel peace. Like, you're
Yes.
gonna land somewhere.
Yeah,
You're gonna land
exactly.
and it's gonna be perfect, and it's like
Yeah, everything about it's gonna be perfect. The timing, the location, the
exactly.
cost.
Exactly.
And I was thinking about while you were talking, there's so many different avenues or paths that I could have taken where I could have just become so discouraged and so negative about my situation. Thinking about moving from Sumner to Tacoma, moving all my stuff in, and then having the realization of like, oh, this is not going to work. And oh, like all the things I've been praying for, this is not it. I had the most, like it was a come to Jesus moment
Mhm.
conversation with Mariana, and if all of that chaos, me moving to Tacoma was just for this conversation and this time with the Lord and Mariana, then so be it,
Yeah.
and that's what I needed. Um, I mean, both her and I gained so much from that conversation, and it just made me realize there is so much power in prayer, and I had known that, but I started realizing, "Oh, I'm walking in that right now."
Mhm.
I have been praying for community for years. I've been praying for to live somewhere where I want to start roots and just, like, building a life in that area, somewhere where I could envision, like, settling down or raising my kids there. Um, and I feel like through what I'm walking through right now, that's all in front of me. It's just not here, and
Mhm.
it's up north. And Mariana was just like, "Dude, that's gonna take a leap of faith, and if your drive to work is the only thing holding you back, if your commute is the only thing holding you back from taking that leap of faith and stepping into where the Lord is calling you, maybe you're not ready." And I was like,
Oh.
she really hit me hard with that one.
Mhm.
So that was a really big wake up for me of like, wow, everything that I've been specifically praying for is right in front of me. It's just gonna take a leap,
Mhm.
which is scary. I think too, another reason why I have been stressed out, I've learned about myself. I'm someone that likes direction.
Yeah.
I do like being told what to do. I do like timelines. I'm not saying I'm the best when it comes to time management, but like, I would like to know, "Abby, you have to be out of my house at this date because I'm selling my house," whatever, and it doesn't work like that, when selling a home on the market, if someone likes it, they grab it, whatever. But so that's a big stressor for me, but again, I feel like it's a stress ball, but I'm also, like, wrapped in peace, and I'm not just saying
Yeah.
that either, like,
Yeah.
I know at the end of the day, it's all going to work out,
Like,
and
your head
I'm
has to hit the pillow up north. It just has to,
it has to,
because
and
that's
it
where all
will.
signs are pointing for you.
Totally, it is. It's just, I think, to me letting go of control as well,
Mhm. Mhm.
and not letting fear dictate where I'm gonna land. Like, it's easy for me to be like, "That commute's way too far. That's unrealistic." The commute is gonna suck, you guys, like, I'm
Mhm.
just gonna be real. Um, but if I'm meant to be there, then Lord put me there. And I mean, that's what I've been asking the Lord, "Use me,
Yeah.
send me. Lord, I will go where you call me." I've been praying that, but, like, let's live that, right?
Mhm.
If all of these opportunities are presented in front of me, I can't just expect, like, I'm just gonna magically appear there or someone's gonna show up on my doorstep. I mean, sometimes the Lord does work that way
Yeah.
all of a sudden, but, it's gonna take some work on my end for
Yeah.
sure. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that, and with that being said, actually, we had been talking about the power of prayer in both of our
Yeah.
lives in these seasons that we're entering and leaving and all of that. And so next week, our episode will be about um, the power of prayer. I like choked on my air. And so we're excited to talk about that a little bit more in depth of like a little bit more tangible ways of, which I guess like some of that for me was like the house stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool and how the power of prayer has really come alive for both of us in like a new
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It's something that I've always known, like, prayer's always been a part of my life, but, like, dialing in your prayer and becoming specific, spending time with the Lord, um, each and every day, it's life-changing, you guys. Um,
Like literally
yeah.
life changing.
Mhm. And it's literally just hanging out with the Lord, you know?
Yeah.
You can't have a relationship with someone if you're not talking to them.
Yeah.
So we will be talking all about that in our next episode and probably some more updates as well, things that we couldn't get into during this episode. But you guys, we are genuinely so happy to be back and recording and giving you content. It's been too long.
It's been far too long, and we thank you for being patient and understanding. We're not gonna go anywhere.
No. We love you guys so much. And we're gonna be posting on Instagram a lot more now that we're back in action.
Yeah, baby.
Follow us at She Means Well Podcast on all of our platforms. Until next week.
Yeah. We'll see you next week, baby.
Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.